Good morning and welcome back to another episode of this excretory system of human beings. So already we have seen different modes of waste of elimination in the excretory system, why we need to produce different kinds of waste in the body and the different parts of our human excretory system. Let us now see the internal structure of the kidney in detail. The internal structure of our kidney. So if you see the longitudinal section of a kidney, it shows two main reasons, that is an outer dark red cortex layer and an inner pale color medulla layer. So there are two layers in the kidney. Outer is the cortex, inner is the medulla. Cortex is the outer region of the kidney and it extends in between the medullary pyramids, and these extensions are called columns of Bertini. So some of the words are missing in your book, but I am teaching you in detail, so listen it carefully. These extensions of this cortex layer are called as the columns of Bertini, and cortex is not uniform in texture because of the granular substance present in it. Whereas the medulla is the part of the kidney which is divided into conical masses called as medullary or renal pyramids, and the base of each pyramid is in contact with the outer cortex region, whereas the apical part of the pyramid called papilla projects into the pelvis region of the kidney. This is how the structure of the kidney looks like if you see the longitudinal section. Now we'll see what is a nephron. In fact, the structural and functional unit of kidney is called as the nephron. Each kidney is made up of nearly 1 million of tubular structures, and these are called as the nephrons, or you can also call it as uriniferous tubules. These are the structural and functional unit of the kidney, and major part of each nephron is present in the cortex region of the kidney, but its tubule is present in the medullary region of the kidney. So the nephrons of the kidney are responsible for the formation of urine, and each nephron consists of the following parts. That is, the first is your Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule, which is present in the cortex region of the kidney, is a capsule which is double-walled cup-like structure which forms the beginning of the nephron. A tubular system arises from the base of a Bowman's capsule, whereas the outer concave part of the capsule includes a mass of blood capillaries called as the glomerulus. And Bowman's capsule and glomerulus are collectively called as Malpighian corpuscles or renal capsule. And this whole part of the nephron is present in the cortex region of the kidney. Proximal convoluted tubule, which is also called as PCT in short, and this is also present in the cortex region. A tiny convoluted tubule arises from the Bowman's capsule which forms a coiled network in the cortex of the kidney, and this is called as the PCT or proximal convoluted tubule, which is near to the Bowman's capsule. Next part of our nephron is loop of Fresnel, which is present in both the regions in cortex as well as in the medulla part. So PCT or proximal convoluted tubule leads to a long thin walled U-shaped tube called as the loop of Fresnel. It runs down the medulla and takes a U-turn and returns to the cortex region to continue into the next part of the nephron. This is called loop of Fresnel. Next part is DCT, which is also called as distal convoluted tubule, and that is present in the cortex region. In this cortex region, the loop of Fresnel leads to another coiled tubular structure called DCT or distal convoluted tubule. This is just like the proximal convoluted tubule but lies little away from the Bowman's capsule, and so it is called as distal. It opens into the final part of the nephron called as the collecting duct. DCT finally opens into a collecting duct which receives urine from the DCT tubules of many nephrons. It passes through the medulla and carries urine to renal pelvis, which empties into the ureter. Finally, it reaches to the ureter. Now, the supply of blood to the kidney. Who is responsible for this? and how it supplies. Each kidney is supplied by a branch of dorsal aorta called renal artery, which carries the oxygenated blood. Here, the renal artery branches and rebranches several times and forms a number of afferent arterioles. Afferent means incoming or entering the arterioles. So, one such arteriole enters into the Bowman capsule and divides into a network of capillaries, forming a knot-like mass called as the glomerulus. Here the glomerular capillaries reunite to form the efferent. Efferent means outgoing or leaving arteriole, which comes out of the glomerulus. The efferent arteriole runs towards the proximal convoluted tubule and forms a secondary network of capillaries called as the peritubular capillaries. The second capillary network surrounds the PCT, loop of Fenel and DCT. The capillary network around the loop of Fenel is called as vasa recta. These capillaries join together again to form a number of venules, which joins to form a branch of renal vein. The different branches finally unite to form a renal vein, and this leaves the kidney at hilum. The renal vein drains the purified blood into the posterior vena cava. So this is how the blood is supplied to the kidney. Now, what are the functions of kidney? In fact, kidneys carry out many important functions required for the regulation of composition of blood and maintenance of a constant internal environment. And this maintaining the constant internal environment in the blood is called as homeostasis. So how it regulates the fluid or it balances the fluid? The kidneys help to keep the amount of water constant in the body by regulating the amount of urine output. For example, if a patient is losing body fluids because of diarrhea and vomiting and also not taking enough fluids to compensate this loss of water, then the kidney will excrete less amount of urine in order to maintain the fluid balance in the body. In tropical countries, individuals feel more thirsty and drink a lot of water during summer. Still, they urinate fewer times and produce thicker urine in the summer than in winter. This is because of the reason that a considerable part of body waste or body water is also lost through sweating. As a result, kidneys reabsorb more water from the filtrate, making the urine concentrate and thicker. Most often in ICSE, a question comes, why in tropical countries people urinate very less and their urine is thicker in concentration? So here is the reason, that a considerable part of this body water is wasted in the form of sweating. So the kidney reabsorbs more water from the filtrate, makes the urine concentrated and thicker. Regulation of acid-base balance. The kidney maintains the acid-base balance of the blood by removing the various waste from the body. For example, the nitrogenous waste formed in the body are removed by the kidney in the form of the acidic urine. The kidneys also remove various other substances from the blood which may be harmful for the body, and these include mineral salts, iodides, arsenic, bacteria and drugs. Regulation of arterial blood pressure. The kidneys secrete a hormone called renin, which regulates the arterial blood pressure of the body too. So these are the functions of the kidney. Next class we'll see the mechanism of urine formation.